Foundation. Well, hello and welcome to another 10-minute school tour. I'm so happy to introduce Janet. Janet Scinto is here out of Arizona, and she's telling us a little bit about her new microschool. I'll let you tell us about it and where you're located, and we'd love to know more about it.
Absolutely. Hello, my name is Janet, and I started Thrive Academy in Springerville, Arizona. And basically, right now, I'm a K through 2. I plan to grow with my cohort. So, as the kids level up in grade, I will also continue to level up with them. I want this to be a very nice home experience. I currently have 7 learners, and our main uniqueness, I would say, is that we're very heavily project and play based. I feel like the science is telling us that kids' brains learn the best by doing, experiencing, playing, and just moving. I don't believe that children were made to sit still and be quiet and just listen to somebody talk. I think that the best way is to just get the experience. So that's kind of how we run my micro school is I have project-based learning. We do whatever works for the kids. We have multiple forms of curriculum, multiple programs for all of the core curriculum. So we do math, we do science, we do reading, we do language arts, we do all of the things, history, but we do it in more unique ways. So I'm going to just switch you around so you can see. Let's see here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Springerville, I imagine there's a lot of cool stuff for the kids to do as well.
Oh, yes, I can even kind of show you just kind of a peek see around. It's a very, very nice. We spend about 90% of our day outside, which I'll show you the back as well. But
Well,
we
in
have a free
Arizona,
little
you
book
have great,
nook.
great weather, so you absolutely can.
Yes, we have a little book nook. These are all fun games and activities that we can play to teach us core standards and language arts and reading and science and all of these fun things. Lots of reading. We do a ton of learning games. We have a lot of things that help us to learn that don't feel like learning.
Hmm.
Normally, I have all the kids' cubby stuff, but obviously it's a school day, so we definitely are gonna head on inside and go ahead and see where the kids are mostly. So
Okay.
over here is where we do a lot of our crafting, just because it's easier because I can lay things out.
Hmm.
We've got tons of manipulatives. We do STEM projects. We do building. We do crafts. We do watercolors. We do painting. We have more books. Anytime the kids have difficulty in their standard learning, like math, or if they're having trouble with calculations, we have any manipulative that you can think of that might help for any style of learning. We've got it.
Well, that's
Then
great.
we do a lot of work over here where we sit, because it's not a sit down at your desk. We will sit down over here and do a lot of our group work. For example, for our history time, we actually do a program called Tea Time Together. And for tea time together, we create a snack in the kitchen. So they're getting real life cooking skills. So they're baking goods
Oh
and
my
then
goodness,
we sit down.
as young as kindergarten, huh? They're
Yes.
making things. That's wonderful.
Yep, they're baking, they're learning math by measuring in volume, they're following directions, they're learning cause and effect. So we're baking something together, and it has to do with whatever historical theme we're covering. And then we're going in there and we're sitting down together collaboratively and having more Socratic discussion style
Hmm.
history, where we'll have a piece of art from a time in history that we're going to study. We'll read literature or poetry from there. We're listening to the music from that time. We're learning big events that have happened throughout that time, and we're talking about it, and they're having an opinion. They're not being talked at. They're contributing and they're opening their minds and they're asking questions and they're contributing to conversation and discussion. And it's something that I really, really enjoy hearing that they have an opinion on these things that I feel like kids aren't often given the chance, to express. I feel like they're capable of so much more than we give them credit for. Um,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, we're very project heavy. So we do project-based learning. I can show you an example. We're learning about fall. So scientifically, we're learning about why fall leaves fall off trees and deciduous trees and about chlorophyll and the colors, but we're also really getting hands-on and we're playing with leaves. We're doing leaf smudgings. We're doing watercolor paints. We're going on walks. Because I am a home-based micro school, I can take the kids out in nature and actually explore and take them out so that they can have fun and move their bodies and learn these things in real time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's really great to, especially at that age too, there's just so much energy, so much
Mm-hmm.
curiosity, and there's just so much wonder all around. And I think that's one of the real benefits of micro school is because we don't have giant schools. We're really flexible and agile. It's a beautiful day. Let's go outside. Let's it's raining. Okay, well, we'll figure out something else. So we have that ability to
Exactly.
pivot when we need. And I mean, I know at our micro school as well, it would also be like, okay, we were planning on teaching this for a long time, but actually this is happening right now in the country, in the world. So let's talk about it. Let's dive deep because kids have all kinds of questions about it, and we can talk about our other civics lessons later. So
Exactly. And the same thing, like I'm at a fun age right now with the K through twos where they're kind of discovering their passions, they're kind of discovering who they are, what they like, and their preferences and their learning styles. And so we're just exploring all sorts of things. I created a program for a badging system for project-based learning. So,
oh,
so far
great.
this year, we have been restaurant rock stars. We learned about animal habitats and we're habitat heroes. We learned about community leaders and actually had a really fun community event. We had a flight nurse, two flight nurses. We had the police department and Sparky, the mascot. We had a police department and their canine dogs. They we had the mayor and they got to come and actually ask questions. They showed them
Wow.
here,
Wow.
they went explore the truck. They just had a blast. So it was a really, really good time. So we had our little community heroes badge. We created a time capsule and did a time traveler badge. And last week we did our plant inventor, where they got to actually study plants and science like carnivorous plants, healing plants like aloe vera, learning a little bit about that, but also they got to create their very own unique plant species.
Wow. So fun.
Yep.
So I'd love to hear your feedback about some of the things that the parents really like or the kids really like, or
Mhm.
something that kind of helped them make the choice to come to your micro school versus other educational options in your community.
Absolutely. I actually did just send out my quarter 1 feedback, so I will be having more feedback on that specifically. But what parents have told me, I've had a couple kids that struggled socially, where they were kind of forgotten in the class, swarmed by 20 to 30 kids, and
Hmm.
only one teacher and maybe an aide. And they weren't encouraged to join the group because there's too much going on, too many big personalities, too many kids. And so they really just would cry and not want to go to school, not want to
Oh,
go and learn. It like really disrupted their ability
yep.
to enjoy learning. And she said now her daughter is waking her up every morning for school and she's excited and she comes
Oh, that's so
excitedly to
wonderful
the
to
micro
hear.
school. Yes, and that every time she gets in the car, she has stories to tell about her and her friends. And so, from a social emotional perspective, which it's a big part of our micro schooling as well, I do a social emotional curriculum where we definitely work on managing our big feelings,
Hmm.
especially at this age. um,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, and then I had another boy. He was in the public school and he was labeled like unfocused or wild.
Hmm.
And it turned out he was just bored because he's actually reading at a second grade level as a first grader.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
so I was able to catch it within the first week of opening the micro school and having him here. And we switched him in his grade level, we switched his work, we progressed him to where he was. We met him where he was at. And his parents were like, in all the time that he was in public school, nobody ever caught it. They blamed him as opposed to trying to see what the real issue was. And so, from most of the parents that I'm getting, it just seems like a lot of the kids were being overlooked. Well, in for educational purposes or social purposes. It feels like their kid was not taken seriously as a unique individual with unique needs and were being just overlooked. And so for the most part, that's what I have heard from parents is that they really enjoy a lot of the one-on-one attention, being able to tailor their education to what they need in the pace that they need and where they're at, making them feel like they're not in competition with other people. They're not being made to do standardized testing and put their worth in their test scores, and just being able to be themselves, be children, to play, to have fun, to run around, to be loud, to express themselves, and to learn in the way that kids were meant to learn.
Oh, that's really great to hear. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough being in big environments and certainly not every child flourishes in that. So I think we're
Mhm.
we're a really great option for families. And I think too, I know with our micro school, we would see a lot of students that similarly they were brilliant. They were above their grade level, but they weren't being able to be met or challenged and that's
Mhm.
like everyone, right? Nobody's like one grade level, right? All of
Right.
us have our own skills and strengths and weaknesses. And so having that customization and some more time really does make a difference for kids in their
Yes,
confidence and their curiosity and a lot of different aspects.
exactly. And then this is where we spend 90% of our day. So we've got a big play area, and the kids are out there right now. Today is the Thursday, so I only have my first and second graders,
Hmm.
but we definitely do a lot of outside time. We also do we do 15 minutes of playtime, open playtime every hour.
Oh, that's great.
Just yes, so that they can move their bodies, get their blood flowing, refresh their brains, recharge, get that the wiggles out, and
Hmm.
it really helps us to make sure that when it is time to focus, that it's focus time,
Yep.
and they're able to take responsibility for their education and really step in and be autonomous. And us having seven kids and one person, to help everyone and give them that one-on-one attention. And so it really helps to have that strong focus. And I think what really helps that is being able to be outside, have fun, go play, have open play, be unstructured, just exist.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it helps having all those connections, that downtime too, to put all of those thoughts together and things that they were learning, catalog them as well. So,
Hmm.
well, Thrive seems like a really great place. I'm so happy that you were able to take a few minutes out of your school day and show us around.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me and being willing to do this tour with me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, we'll put a link to your school and some more information for people that want to find out more. So thanks a lot, Janet. Take care.
Thank you so much, Whitney.
Bye.